We'll call the meeting to order, please. Roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Here.
Densberger?
Here.
Jeffers?
Here.
Call?
Here.
Mayor Mingus?
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please stand for the invocation. Make standing for the pledge.
Shall I pray? Heavenly Father, thank you for this day we've had as we have experiencing the winter season. We appreciate the longer days, though, the longer sunlight and so forth, but do pray for the safety of our citizens as they travel about with the inclement weather predicted again. For those in our city that work to keep the roads clear, we pray for their safety. Thank you. We can gather and discuss the city's business. For our guests and friends and fellow citizens that are here in our live meeting, I pray that it be a good time for them as well. We ask your blessing on this night. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of minutes, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the minutes of the regular meeting held on February 5th, 2019, the minutes of the special meeting for working session held on February 5th, 2019, and the minutes of the special meeting for working session held on February 12th, 2019 be approved as printed.
Second, please. Second. Commissioner Decker, discussion. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Thank you, sir.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Communications, please.
Honor, in your package, there was documentation review number 67 from the Illinois Department of Revenue regarding MFT funds for the period beginning January 1st, 2016, ending December 31st, 2017. The report is a compliance review conducted by the local roads and streets, and just communication indicating that an audit will be performed at a later date. So we had this about 2 years ago, so it's just kind of a
We're complying.
annual or semi-annual thing.
Very good. So be it. So recorded. Thank you. Anybody in the audience want to speak to the council on an agenda item? Come forward. Good to have you back, Rachel.
I missed the budget meeting, so I was wondering with the $550,000 for street, are we gonna get any more added to that? And is that amount gonna be enough to fix the horrible streets that are really throughout the whole city?
I sure hope so, and no. I think everybody up here wants to put more into it than that. I'm sure everybody up here, I've heard from each of them. 550 is what is guaranteed. Motor fuel tax each year is collected by the state, comes to us, so that we can count on each year. We all want to, a minimum of $1 million, but we'd love to put in $3 million this year. It just depends on how much we can pull out of the entire budget.
A work in process right now, Rachel.
Okay.
Rachel, that conversation, we have another budget discussion scheduled for next Tuesday.
For next Tuesday? Okay, awesome, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing no one else, we have a consent agenda. There have been no objections, so I turn over to you, Commissioner Densberger.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt a consent agenda consisting of items numbered 1 through 4 as listed on the agenda for this meeting to be considered by omnibus vote.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call. Discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
In which case, Mr. Mayor, I move you that the items numbered 1 through 4 listed on the consent agenda be hereby approved and adopted. The items numbered 2 through 4, having been read once by their title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Decker. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I'll move on to my regular agenda items then, Your Honor.
Please.
The first one being Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4425 here to attach an ordinance amending Title V, Chapter 7 of the East Peoria City Code pertaining to parking requirements be read at length by the clerk, and that said ordinance number 4425 be accepted on its first reading and be hereby adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
Thank you, Commissioner. Morgan?
Whereas city staff continues to review parking requirements throughout all zoning districts in the city in an effort to ensure that the parking requirements are reasonable and not unnecessarily expansive in a manner that limits development and open green space. Whereas city staff has received specific input in relation to parking requirements for multifamily residential development and in relation to employee parking for larger commercial and business development. And whereas based upon this review and input, the City of East Peoria has proposed amendments to certain zoning regulations found at Title V, Chapter 7, Sections 3 and 6 of the East Peoria City Code, which proposed amendments are hereinafter set forth. And whereas after holding a public hearing regarding these proposed changes to the city's zoning code, pursuant to duly published notice, the East Peoria Zoning Board of Appeals has recommended approval of the proposed amendment, whereas the City Council finds the adoption of the proposed amendments to the city's zoning code will serve the best interests of the City of East Peoria and its citizens. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, Title 5, Chapter 7, Section 3 of the East Peoria City Code is hereby amended to read as follows. Additions are indicated by underline, deletions by strikeout. 5-7-3, joint parking facilities, off-site facilities. A, joint parking facilities to serve one or more buildings or uses may be allowed to provide such joint parking facility conforms to the provisions of this chapter. B, off-site parking facilities may be allowed for non-residential and multifamily uses subject to the following. 1, the Director of Planning and Community Development shall approve such off-site facility. 2, the facility shall be used to park only passenger vehicles. 3, the facility is located in a non-residential or multifamily zoning district. Section 2, Title 5, Chapter 7, Section 6 of the East Peoria City Code is hereby amended to read as follows. Additions are indicated by underline, deletions by strikeout. 5-7-6, schedule of parking requirements. Other than for residential and institutional uses, not more than the number of parking spaces shall be provided as shown in the following schedule. Any use not specifically listed shall conform to the requirements of the most similar use based upon the determination of the Director of Planning and Community Development. A, residential. 1, single-family and duplex residential dwellings. 2, parking spaces per dwelling unit. 4, multifamily residential dwellings. 1 1/2 parking spaces per dwelling unit. C, business uses, eliminates the language, all of the following business uses shall provide 1 parking space for each employee in addition to requirements set forth below. F, the Zoning Board of Appeals may, in accordance with the procedures set forth at Section 5-11-7, grant variations allowing parking facilities inconsistent with requirements set forth in this section. Section 3, this ordinance is hereby ordered to be published in pamphlet form by the East Peoria City Clerk. Said clerk is ordered to keep at least 3 copies hereof available for public inspection in the future and in accordance with the Illinois Municipal Code. Section 4, this ordinance is in addition to all other ordinances on the subject, shall be construed therewith, excepting as to that part in direct conflict with any other ordinance. In the event of such conflict, the provisions hereof shall govern. Section 5, this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage, approval, and 10-day period of publication in the manner provided by law.
Thank you, Morgan. As you gentlemen may recall, some time back, we revised the parking requirements for commercial development, with the thought that as you look at some of the levy district, the parking lots virtually never fill up because our parking requirements were high. They were not unusual, but they were high. We're extending that in this case as we look toward multifamily development within the city. One of the things that's been identified is the number of parking spaces we currently require, which is 2 per unit, is on the high side. So this is simply an effort to reduce that number to something a little more realistic, which hopefully will make it somewhat more enticing for developers to look at those projects. So, Ty, anything else?
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner. So the nature of retail has changed, and we see, much less demand upon the number of spaces. And so that's what's really driving this. Plus, it's been a very good development tool to speak to potential interested developments, to talk to them about, you set that level of how many parking spaces you need. So the change from getting away from saying one parking space per employee is consistent with the rest of the changes we made last year. The other piece is, as we've talked to other interested parties for multifamily development, we still think that there needs to be a minimum requirement set for those types of developments, but 1.5 seems to be more commensurate with other communities and seems to make sense, as that's been kind of identified before, as a 2 per unit is a bit high in some cases. So we're looking to make that adjustment, and hopefully it pays dividends.
Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4426 hereto attached, an ordinance providing for the vacation of a portion of Centennial Drive right-of-way adjacent to Pheasant Run Road, be accepted on its first reading, is read by its title, and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
Thank you, Commissioner. Ty?
So speaking of multifamily development, this is across from Quail Meadow Golf Course. We have 2 buildings that have been constructed, and they have them filled and ready to go with their third project. This would allow a third building to be constructed there adjacent to Centennial, and by vacating this kind of vestige of old right-of-way, which really had no value, we checked with Public Works, that allows them to move forward without requiring any variances.
Thank you.
Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, resolution number 1819-119. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1819-119 hereto attached, a resolution approving software licensing agreement for the city's Geographical Information System, GIS system, be approved, and that this resolution number 1819-119 be accepted on its first reading, as read by its title, and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
Thank you, Commissioner. As described, this is allows us to further upgrade our GIS system, which we're expanding the use of. It's used extensively throughout the city. Most recently, Public Works is taking greater advantage of it than in the past, and it's a very useful system, and the software will help us to keep up.
Thank you. Other discussion?
Just the only thing I'd like to point out, it's an annual cost of $25,000 for the next 3 fiscal years, starting May 1st, and that's no change. There's no increase to what we were paying.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present
Your
voting
Honor,
aye,
my next 2 items are tied together. As you gentlemen will recall, we've done a fair amount of business with Good Energy in the past, very successfully. It's been a good experience, so this is a new opportunity. So I'll go ahead and read the first resolution and then ask Mr. Cole to give us a description, but it's a good opportunity for the city to save some money, I think. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1819-124 hereto attached, a resolution appointing Good Energy, LP, as agent and consultant for purchasing supply of natural gas for city-owned facilities, be approved, and that this resolution number 1819-124 be accepted on its first reading, as read by its title, and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Decker.
Thank you, Commissioner Decker. Mr. Cole?
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, as Commissioner Densberger indicated, this is an opportunity to look into the natural gas purchasing. As he indicated, we've been working with Good Energy for a number of years through the electric aggregation program. This one now would looking into the natural gas aggregation program. I think currently there's somewhere around 16 municipalities, largely around central Illinois, that would be aggregated into this group to then go out for bids on the natural gas purchasing agreement in the hopes that it will mature savings for our city and city facilities.
Thank you. This has worked very well for us in the past on the electrical side, even to the extent of for residential use. We're not there yet for residents, but it certainly is an opportunity for us to get a better rate on natural gas usage for the city. I know Public Works is a large user of this type of energy.
Yep, correct.
And Robert, what would be your estimate, or I guess do you have an estimate of how much the savings could be?
Well, I think the preliminary, with the help of Good Energy, is looking somewhere around that $10,000 a year mark. And with the hopes of this aggregated group is to mature a little bit more. We just don't know yet quite.
Okay.
Thank you. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And as I said, Your Honor, this resolution is the second part of this agreement. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1819-125 hereto attached, a resolution authorizing execution of a service agreement with the lowest responsible bidder for the supply of natural gas for city facilities be approved, and that this resolution number 1819-125 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Decker.
Thank you, Commissioner. As I said, this is simply the second part of the agreement.
Discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And we do have a couple representatives from Good Energy here this evening, and thank you, gentlemen, for coming, but I think this works out well for us.
Welcome. Thank you.
Next, and finally, Your Honor, I have Resolution 1819-121. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1819-121 hereto attached, a resolution approving the lowest responsible bidder for East Side Center parking lot lighting upgrade to LED project with Springfield Electric be approved, and that this resolution number 1819-121 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Decker.
Thank you, Commissioner. This is another of those energy-saving projects that Mr. Cole seems to be so adept at. Robert, why don't you just give us the rundown on this?
Thank you, Commissioner. Yeah, this is for East Side Center parking lot. Earlier or late last year, we had the opportunity to use funding through Ameren to do the roadway. Back in the day, as I indicated in my discussion, and that is back in 2011, the lights got replaced through a grant and some opportunities through Illinois, the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity at the time. It was state-of-the-art at the time with the induction lighting system. Technology has changed, and there's opportunities here to reduce our wattage or our load. So there is opportunities with Ameren incentivized to pay for a portion of it and reduce the overall energy consumption for the parking lots. It'd be both the main lot, which is 13 fixtures, and then 4 for the soccer. But what it especially does, and that is with LED technology, the distribution of the lighting is so much different. I think I shared some pictures of before and after for East Side Drive, and it was big because the delineation of the lighting is so contrast now to the area that it covers. So when we done this engineering for the lighting engineering for East Side Center parking lot, it was a stretch to try to find just that fixture that was perfect to be able to, provide the adequate lighting for the parking lot. The poles at the time were stretched out pretty far. So I think that, with the light fixtures that were selected, I think it's going to be a great improvement of the quality and safety of the lighting for the parking lots.
Thank you, Robert. As I'm sure we've all been up there after dark, and if you've been in the east side parking lot, it's always seemed a bit underlighted, so this should help to address that. So,
Robert,
thank you.
just a quick question, the return on, or cost, return on investment. I know you're always good at that too.
Yeah.
Payback,
It isn't as great as some of our others, just because of the simple fact that, back before 2011, there were 1,000 water. I mean, they were big.
we've had a lot of gains already, yeah.
Right, we already cut it in half. So now, literally, because we need that adequate light for the safety and the well lighting of the parking lot, you're not, I think it's 268 watts we're saving. It isn't, but it's still a little under half, 45%. So.
Sure.
That's great.
But it lets you
Yeah.
increase the lighting without adding more light posts, more fixtures.
Correct, and yeah. So,
Which is-
and we think that with the engineering that was done, through Acuity, a company that really specializes in the engineering end of it, they've done an excellent job selecting the perfect fixture to be able to cast that light and ensure that we're going to get the minimum standards in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a complaint that I've heard from some, and I've noticed as well up there how dark it is, and I'm really thankful that we're doing this. I think it'd make it much safer.
Yep.
Other discussion?
I'll just say there are 3 competitive bids. Springfield Electric was the lowest responsible.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
That's
Thank
all
you,
I have for now, sir.
Commissioner Decker, you're going to make your deadline.
I have one item tonight. Before I read that, just to tell everybody, I'm not running out of here as soon as I get done, but my son has a band concert tonight, and I will always put him first. So when I get done, I'm going to be leaving. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email me or text me or something. Resolution number 1819-114, be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, the resolution number 1819-114, hereto attached, a resolution allocating of $550,000 of motor fuel tax funds for the 2019 street maintenance program and authorizing an engineering agreement with Patrick Meyer and Associates for the street maintenance program be hereby approved. This resolution number 1819-114, having been read once by its title, having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call.
Thank you, Commissioner Call. As Rachel, I was glad she said that tonight. It is everybody up here's intention to spend more. We would spend $3 million if we could. I think a couple of the best years that I can remember were right around $2.5 million. I think in maybe 2008, 2009, a couple years in a row, we were able to spend quite a bit. Everything with the economy happened the way that it did, and we're not in that position. I want to commend what has been done in Public Works in recent years because they've really stretched the money that they have to last and to, I guess, to cover as much as they could. We are at the point, though, we do need more than this. This is $550,000, and what it's from is motor fuel tax funds. Those are collected by the state, passed on to us, and they must be spent in this area. That's good because at least it gives us this guaranteed amount, but everybody is hoping that we spend more. I threw out the number earlier in the budget process of at least $1 million, and I hesitated even saying that because I should be saying at least 1.5 or more. But to be realistic and trying to accomplish everything throughout our city, not just thinking about streets. We have to look at, I guess, all of our needs. So $550,000 now. Hopefully through the budget process, we're going to be able to utilize quite a bit more.
Other discussion, please. Roll call.
Commissioner Decker?
Aye.
Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
That is all I have.
Thank you,
Mayor.
Commissioner Decker. Commissioner Jeffers.
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Call.
Few items this evening, sir. Resolution number 1819-117, be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1819-117, hereto attached a resolution to approve an employment agreement with Stephen M. Rogie to serve as City of East Peoria Chief of Police, be hereby approved, and that this resolution number 1819-117, having been read once by its title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection, be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Densberger.
Thank you, Commissioner Densberger. This employment agreement is a 3-year agreement effective March 1st, 2019 through February 28th, 2022. Includes a annual salary of $120,400. There is a residency requirement as soon as practicable, but not later than December 31st, 2019. Does include moving expenses not to exceed $2,500. Employee will not be participating in any retirement or pension program offered by employer, including IMRF and police pension fund, and employer will not be making any contribution thereto. So, I guess we'll be swearing Mr. Rogie in on March 1st.
March 1st, 11 o'clock a.m. Looking forward to it. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next, Your Honor, Resolution Number 1819-122. Whereas Charles Troy Doubleair has been continuously employed by the city from January 17, 1990 through January 25, 2019, most recently occupying the position of fire lieutenant, and whereas Charles Troy Doubleair has announced his intention to retire from employment effective at the end of the day on January 25, 2019, and whereas the city is appreciative of the long and continued service provided by Charles Troy Doubleair, and whereas it is in the best interest of the city to execute the attached separation agreement, now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Tazewell County, Illinois, that Section 1, the above recitals are found to be true and correct. Section 2, the mayor and city administrator are hereby authorized to execute the separation agreement with such changes as the mayor in his sole discretion may decide are in the best interest of the city of East Peoria. Mr. Mayor, I move you that resolution number 1819-122 be adopted as presented.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Densberger.
Thank you, Commissioner Densberger. So, Lieutenant Doubleair is not here this evening, but I appreciate his service to the city. I wish him well in his new endeavor. Just to make it clear, part of the separation agreement outlines that Mr. Doubleair will be paid out $1,722 compensate. I can't speak tonight. Anyway, hours. So it'll be done in 3 installments. One of $19,268.40 on or before February 28th, 2019. $19,268.40 on or before January 15th, 2020. And $19,268.40 on or before January 15, 2021, totaling $57,805.20.
We will miss Troy, whatever you do.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Last but not least, resolution number 1819-120. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 1819-120, hereto attached, a resolution approving service plan agreement for the city's Lucas devices, mechanical chest compression devices for the fire department be approved, and that this resolution number 1819-120 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Densberger.
Thank you, Commissioner Densberger. So the reason why this is before us, it's a 3-year contract, so I felt it was important to bring it forward to the council for your approval. It will be paid out in annual installments of $3,898.80 to Physio Control for the first year of the contract, but the total contract will be $11,696.40, and it's a service plan for our 3 Lucas devices.
Other discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Densberger?
Aye.
Jeffers?
Aye.
Call?
Aye.
Mayor Mingus?
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Call. Public comments from the audience. Anybody want to speak to the council on a non-agenda item? Seeing no one, come on up. Norm?
It's my understanding that Mr. Gary Matthews owes the city somewhere around $180,000. Correct me if I'm wrong?
That's roughly correct, yes.
And what would that indebted amount be for?
It goes back to a development agreement that stated, help me out here, Dennis, that had to do with the Lowe's development and moving an electrical substation. Is that correct?
I think that's right. It was an obligation of the corporation, but he is a guarantor. He guaranteed the loan.
There are actually 3 people on the
Yes.
agreement, I believe.
Yes, there are 3.
And although the city has endeavored to collect it, I believe that Mr. Matthews is currently protected by bankruptcy court.
That's
His
correct.
corporation is bankruptcy, or this $180,000 falls under that bankruptcy?
It does.
Yeah.
So that-
Personal bankruptcy, which precludes the city from trying to collect, further efforts to collect on the guarantee for Mr. Matthews.
Okay, what, we've made efforts to collect this amount?
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not going to collect it, is what you're telling me?
Oh,
Not unless the bankruptcy judge and trustee say that we can.
Okay.
Yeah, there's reasons to think that we will not collect it, but I do not want to make that declaration. We haven't given up.
I guess the only thing we can smile about, we're not Peoria. We're determined what, $78 million.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's
Thank
true.
you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Anybody else? Comments from the council? Commissioner Decker's gone. Commissioner Densberger.
Just one upcoming event, I believe it's this Saturday. The East Peoria Historical Society's annual chili fundraiser is taking place Saturday from 1 till 5 or until the chili is sold out. That's at the festival building. So if you've got some time Saturday afternoon, stop in and enjoy the festivities.
Thank you.
That's all I have, sir.
Commissioner Jeffers.
Yeah, the Historical Society does a great job with this fundraiser, and it's one of their main ways to make some money for the year, and good people there. Be a great time. I would mention, Robert, you were here tonight talking about the gas purchasing and so forth, and you and I have had a discussion the last few days. Just maybe you could just tell us about how people have questioned their city rates, and companies say they charge less than the city, and we're in with 90-some communities. So you can give a quick overview of that and give some people some assurance as to how it's done and what pitfalls to watch for whenever someone says, hey, we can save you money, what that may mean.
Yeah, thanks, Commissioner. I think what we're referring to in that is solicitors coming door to door asking to switch your electrical supplier from either, Ameren or Homefield, which is ours, as our aggregated residential program outlines. The police department is very much aware of this. They're to have solicitors licensing to be able to go around and knock on doors trying to get people to switch. I think what Commissioner Jeffers indicated, as I spoke to him earlier, we've had a lot of people, mostly older couples, older people coming to City Hall and complaining about being pressured, they felt like, with certain suppliers that are coming around, basically indicating that they either work for the city or they work for Ameren, updating their records, and they just wanted them to sign something. And most people literally slammed the door, and then, it upset them. And then they would call in. I talked to them and said, no, we wouldn't be coming door to door trying to have you switch or update any of your information, nor would Ameren. So I think that's what you're kind of saying. And the other thing is it's deregulated. I mean, we all have a choice as residents or businesses to go and purchase power from whoever our supplier would be. That's the caveat of having free enterprise, I guess, to be able to go out and go out on the market and choose who you want to supply your electricity to your home or business. On the flip side of that, there's a lot of people that are going to homes and throwing this introductory offer saying, oh, well, it's way cheaper if you go with us. And if you sign here, I'll give you a $50 Visa card or what have you. Well, these people sign, because they don't have time. This guy's hounding them, to get a signature and get rolling. And quite frankly, they regret it. So what happens is they go and blow their $50 Visa card. Their rates start increasing because it was an introductory offer, and trying to read through a contract of a purchase agreement is pretty tough. So I think that's where quite a few people is, and then by the time they either call the police department thinking that they were scammed, or calling me to complain about them getting into a contract, they can't get out of the contract because they would have to pay to get out. So there is some. So what we say is we don't tell people where to buy their power. If they so choose to go out of the aggregated group or go off of the Ameren default rate, they certainly can, but do the homework. Make sure that, and we offer that. People want to bring in a contract that maybe somebody is trying to get them to sign. We'll review it and ensure that it's something that's going to be appropriate for them.
I think the important thing to note in that regards, because we had it happen the last time, anyone out knocking on your door and they ask to see your Ameren bill or whatever bill, do not show it to them. Make sure that they're registered with the city first to be out and about, because that's what happened the last time and a lot of people got duped. I know in my neighborhood, I called the police and they responded very quickly, and a couple of individuals were arrested in that process because they weren't authorized to be doing that.
At the end of the day,
just be cautious.
Yeah. At the end of the day, as I told Commissioner, we were a little over $3 million last year when we presented, what our total amount from the time of its inception. We've saved the residents and small business owners over $3 million. The last year is kind of because of the markets, but everything's going to restart in June. So hopefully there'll be other opportunities out there.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Commissioner. Anything else?
One more thing. We have an employee that was off on medical for a little while, and I'm not divulging anything there, but she's our office manager, Michelle Brook. And she was off for a little while. She's back today working, and so happy to be back at work. I know Commissioner Dinsberger saw her, and I guess she works for him, sort of, as commissioner. But just a joy to see her. She's very glad. She very loyal city employee, and she really feels bad being gone. There's someone else that's having to do her work, but she's back working and feeling better, and we pray for good recovery for her as she continues. But Michelle Brook, she's a great lady, and I'm glad she's working for us. So
She is a great lady.
Yes,
Thank
she
you,
is.
Commissioner. Commissioner Call.
Well, there's one guy in the room that's got a great big smile on his face.
Yep.
Chief Ganchow, sir, thank you for your service. Greatly appreciate what you've done for our city, and I wish you nothing but the best in your future endeavors, sir.
Well, thank you. Since you opened the floor for me, now I'm gonna give a speech.
There is one more meeting next week, though, Dick, so.
Well, that's a
I didn't hear what you said, Mayor. I couldn't.
What's that?
I did want to take the opportunity, thank you, Commissioner Call, for opening it up for me, to thank a few people. Firstly, to Mayor Mingus for his faith in me throughout all its years, and for the entire council. Your support for this police department has been amazing and unwavering throughout the years, and it's greatly appreciated. Most of all, I want to thank the men and women of the East Peoria Police Department, both the dispatchers and the officers. I thank them for their skill, their hard work, and their dedication to the people of East Peoria. They are simply the very best, and it has been the highlight of my fairly long career to be this chief of police and to wear their uniform. I wish the very best to all the officers and to Chief Rogie as they work together and move this department going forward. I thank those officers, and I will pray for their safety every day. I want to say special thanks to a couple people I want to name. My admin assistant, Lisa Kelch, and my previous one, Karen Yount, for the amazing job. As any of you that have offices know, they are truly the backbone of the operation. It could not and would not run without them. Our fantastic records clerks, Mallory and Amanda, do such a great job, and previous dispatch managers, Aaron Morey and Carrie Bruns. Just as our officers are the best, our dispatchers are far and away the best. And a lot of that is due to the hard work of those people. Mostly, I want to thank my two deputy chiefs, Shannon Swearingen and Rich Broderick. This job was never about me. I accomplished nothing as the chief of police, but we, as a team, well, we accomplished a lot. I thank them for their hard work and their loyalty. And finally, to the citizens of East Peoria, I thank you for your continued concern and your constant support of your police department. It has been an honor to be your chief of police. I thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. I wish you well.
Thank you, Chief, very much. Very grateful to you for your service and your wife's service, and you did a great job. Thank you, bottom of my heart.
And one last thing I want to mention, the East Peoria Chamber is going to host a candidate forum March 1st with doors opening at 6:45 a.m., breakfast at 7, and the forum from 7:30 to 8:45 a.m. The cost is $15 per person. You can either reach out to the chamber through their website, or if you want to call them at 699-6212. But there are 2 candidates for mayor and 7 candidates for commissioner. So wanted to throw that out there. That's all I have, sir.
Okie dokie. Exec session?
Yep.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move that a closed meeting or session of the city council be held at the conclusion of this regular meeting to discuss the following matter or matters according to exceptions provided in the Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120/1 ET SEQ and specified as follows, Section 2C1. The employment, appointment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Densberger. Roll call.
Commissioner Dunsberger.
Aye.
Jeffers.
Thank you, Jeff.
Abstain?
Call.
Aye.
Mayor Mingus.
Aye.
3 ayes and 1 abstention, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Motion to adjourn, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move you that we adjourn until Tuesday evening, March 5th, 2019 at 6 p.m.
Second, please.
Second.
Commissioner Call. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Dunsberger.
Aye.
Jeffers.
Aye.
Call.
Aye.
Mayor Mingus.
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.